Hi everyone, this video is going to be a review of e.l.f. or Eyes Lips Face Studio Brush Line. I've been using these for quite a while now. I think no, they've released some new ones. I don't have every brush they make, but I have quite a few. Each of these brushes costs £3.50 I think, with the exception of the Kabuki brush, which is a £5. And also I did own the Kabuki brush, but I've lost it, so I can't review that one. But I've got everything else. They also come in sets, which I think they're the same price you get for buying all the biz. They're an 11-piece set. Maybe you get one free, I can't remember, but they also come with a free case. I will check the price and leave it in the bar, whether it's there or there, I don't know. But it'll be in wherever the bar is. Okay, so first of all, the reason I'm going to review this is because while I have been using these for quite a while, I think I bought myself a set a year ago, possibly a bit more, possibly a year and a half, and I've been using them since then, so I've got a good idea of what happened. But more recently they came out with Christmas ones, and they're glittery. See, but the handle is glittery, and I saw and I went, I must have the glitter! And also they were on sale after Christmas, and I got 25% off, so I think this set of brushes came to something like 25 quid instead of 35 or something like that. Anyway, in your set you get 11 brushes and a case, which is like this. It's a pretty bog standard case. You open it up and it's got pouches. What I will say is it actually came with, because had 11 brushes in there, but it was really had a lot of room left, so which is quite good because I'm using it to store my other set of studio line brushes. Now, the fact that I had a set before and I bought another set kind of proves how good I think these are, but I'm going to go through individually and review them. Okay, so first off, I will go for the one I don't have here, the powder brush, which I used to put on my makeup, so it's just over there. I'll just grab it quickly. Sorry about that. This is the powder brush. This is sort of, I might be wrong, but I think it would be considered a flat top kabuki. Now, as I said, here this is my old one, which, as you can see, the handle's just black. The handle, I think, is a great size. It's just big enough for me to get my whole fist around if I wanted to. It's not too long that when you're doing your makeup you could kind of stab the mirror, unless you're really clumsy like I am. And it's not too short that it's fiddly. Now, okay, with the powder brush, you can use this for powder, obviously, or it's really good with liquid foundation. Like, you kind of just get a bit, dot it on, and then buff it into your skin. I really like it for blending the line between my blush and my, diffusing my blush line. Okay, what to say about this? First of all, because I've been using these on for over a year, and also I'm really bad and I never wash my brushes. I know, don't do it, kids, wash your brushes, but I'm really rubbish at that. I had forgotten how incredibly soft these are. There's no way for me to show, but oh, it feels like almost like fur, fake fur. It's velvety and just lovely. Now the good thing about these brushes, the powder brush that is that it's firm enough that if you get in there with some pressure, you can really use it to, say, if you've applied a bit too much blush, which I often do, you can use it to blend it a bit. But it's soft enough that it's never harsh. It kind of glides over your face. It's I generally don't wear foundation that often, so I've only used it for that a couple of times, and I did find it really good for buffing in your foundation. But for powders, this is amazing. You can glide it over your skin, but you can also just buff it in, and it just works really well. I don't really know what else to say. It's really good, and I would recommend using it. Okay, next brush from the pack, I will choose the e.l.f. Complexion Blush. Now this is blush brush, e.l.f. Complexion Brush, Lillian. Now this is kind of a medium, quite large paddle size brush. And again, you can use this for base powder, or I often use it for my blush. Now lots of people think it's too big for blush, but I find if you use just a soft hand, it gives a good sweep up the jawline. You can use it like this just to get in the contours and dab it. I like it. Some people don't. It might be too big for your needs, but I think it's fine. Also, I've used this for powder, and I must say I prefer the powder brush for pressed powder. And the powder brush also works really well with loose powder, but for this one, I don't know, I'm talking rubbish, because I like this one for pressed powder too. I was about to say this one works better with loose powder, but it doesn't. It's fine with pressed powder too. The powder brush is good for pressed powder because you can kind of really pick up a lot of product by rubbing it in, and this one is kind of more gentle. You sweep it across the top, so this one probably gives a bit of a lighter hand for powder, which can be really good. And then you just kind of sweep it over the face. Again, I'm not going to go through all of these, but when you first get these, they're incredibly soft. And the other ones would still be soft if I washed them once in a while. Okay, so that's that brush. Also good for contour or highlight if you just, again, use it quite gently. But I mainly use this for powder or for blush. I have a couple of these. One I use for powder, one I use for blush. The next brush is the blush brush, which is just trying to do something. Now this is sort of the same shape as the complexion brush, but a lot smaller. Now this one I do use and I do like, but to me this is a bit too small to put my blush on. Like, it's quite good if, sometimes I just do little round dolly cheeks, and it's quite good for that, because it's small, so you can just kind of dab it on like this. But if you kind of want a natural sweep of blush across your cheek, it can be, it's not the best for that, I don't think. I would use the complexion brush instead. However, it's good for if you wanted contour, because it's small, you can, if I stuck in my pupil, so you can get into that little hollow, and the same with highlighter. Yeah, it's good. I like it. I think you can get better blush brushes than this, but it's good. That's it. Okay, next, the angled foundation brush. Now this is my least used brush, for one, because I don't use foundation that often. And when I do, I tend to apply it with my fingers. I've got a couple of foundation brushes. One of them was by that brand that's in Superdrug, I think it's called QVS, and it's just terrible. And this one definitely isn't terrible. It works well as a brush, but I find it kind of puts on my foundation a bit too heavy for me. But then I find that with most foundation brushes, I prefer to use either the powder brush to kind of buff it in gently, or just my fingers. It's not terrible. It's very good for kind of getting into like these cracks around my nose, putting foundation in there. The other thing I can say about this though is the majority of the brushes, all the ones I've showed so far, are kind of multi-use. You can use them with blush or powder or liquid products. But with this one, you kind of can only use it with liquid products. It works for liquid foundation, or it would work for liquid highlighter or contour, but I can't really imagine it would work for powder because it's so thin. I don't know if it's picking up just how thin it is, but it's really tiny, so you can't really get the kind of dispersal you need for powder products. It's more good for kind of laying down a liquid. See, I know I'm kind of tapping my face with the brushes so much because they're so soft and lovely. The next is the fan brush, which again I don't use too often. It's a basic fan brush. It's quite good in that it's still quite stiff. I've tried other fan brushes before which are really kind of floppy, and you can use this one for putting on highlighter or blush, but the majority of the time I use this for if you're applying eyeshadow and you have fallout. If you put on a bit of loose powder beforehand, and then you can use this to just sweep it away, it works really well. Sometimes even if you don't put the loose powder on, you can get it to sweep away with this, and it doesn't kind of smear. That's what I use this one for the majority of the time. It doesn't get the most love from me, but it's still good.